Hi everyone. Today we're taking a look at World eBooks, a database full of children's nonfiction ebooks and a selection of classic literature. This is a great resource if your kids are needing to prepare for school in the fall or just learning for fun. Let's check it out. From our homepage at countylibrary.org, we'll look at the top menu and click on eLibrary. Then we'll click on Research Databases. Scrolling down to Homework Help K through 8, we're going to click on it. And then at the bottom, we'll click on World eBooks. As always, you will need a library card number to access this database. This is the homepage of World eBooks. We can see a list of categories at the top here, but we can also see these same categories listed on the rest of the page. If we scroll down, we will eventually see them all as the page loads. But let's scroll back up. At the top, we have the home page, which in this case they call All. And as we can see by this line, we are currently on the home page. We can look at recently viewed books, books we've favorited, books about amphibians, reptiles, and sea creatures, about birds and mammals, insects and spiders, armed forces, biographies and autobiographies, crafts and activities, cultures of the world, early readers, environment, fantasy, health and human body, history, mysteries and wonders, mythology, legends, and folklore, nature and science, space, sports and recreation, technology and engineering, world classics children and young adults, world classics fiction and literature, and world classics nonfiction. As we can see, the little arrow here has disappeared, so we know this is the last category. Let's go up to the top, on the right here, and click on Refresh to go back to the home page. Now, let's take a look at this first section, amphibians, reptiles, and sea creatures. Let's go over to the right and click on View All. As we can see, View All has the same effect as if we would have clicked on amphibians, reptiles, and sea creatures up here on the menu. It takes you to a page listing all of the books that are part of this section. To go to another section, we don't have to go back to the home page. We can just click on the next section. Before we click on one of the books to take a look, I want to point out that this book and some of the other books have the words "Read Aloud" on the cover. This just means that these books offer narration of the text. If you want to learn more about a book before clicking on it, you can click on the More Info button here. And this will give you more information about the book. Let's go back. You also have the option to mark the book as favorites. And if you click on this star, and then go back up to the top menu and click on favorites, you will find your selected favorite in here. Now, let's take a look inside of the book. As we can see, the book opens up much like a physical copy would, and you can click Next and Previous to look through the book. Because this book has a Read Aloud option, you can click here to start the narration.
A horse is a beautiful and majestic animal that is well adapted for running.
The words will be highlighted as they're being read, and you have a volume button and the ability to pause and resume, as well as an option to skip forward in the narration. You can also close the narration by clicking the X. Up at the top right-hand corner, there's an option to view this in the full screen mode. This is an option to create a profile, but you are already signed in as the Montgomery County Memorial Library System, and you are technically using a guest account. Creating your own account will not work. Let's take a look over here at the left. This house icon says Back to Bookshelf, which is actually just the home page. This is an option to read the table of contents and see resources associated with the book. Let's click on it. This is a clickable table of contents. If we click on it, such as What is a Thoroughbred?, we will be taken directly to that section. Let's open up the contents again. If we scroll down in the contents, we'll see a list of all the sections in the book. Let's click on Resources. Resources looks a lot like the table of contents, but there's a bit more to it. If you click to expand the menu, you'll see a little speaker icon. This indicates on this page you have the option of narration. For this book, you will find this option on every page because this is a narrated book. Also on page 17, we see an option called Markup, which is actually an option to watch a video. So let's click on it, and here we are. And then you can just click to play the video. To exit the video, just click off of it. Let's continue. Clicking My Data will list any items that you have highlighted or any notes you have taken. we will look at highlighting and adding notes in just a little bit. Let's click on the magnifying glass, which is the search option. This allows you to search inside the book. For instance, if you want to search for the word Arabian, just type it in the box and hit enter. Here, we'll see all the pages where the word Arabian appears in this book. Clicking on one of the results will take you to that page and highlight all the instances where the word Arabian appears. Let's move on. Next is the option to use the pen. You can use black, red, purple, green, or blue ink, and you can draw directly on the page. You can also change the width of the pen stroke here. If you want to undo what you've drawn, there's the undo button right here. There's also an eraser to erase specific parts and an option to clear all. Let's now take a look at sticky notes. Clicking on the note icon, we see that it stays highlighted in blue, which means that now it's time to select the text where we want to put the note. Using your mouse cursor, highlight a block of text. Once you release your mouse button, this box will pop up. Here we can change the color of the note and add whatever note we want below. When you're finished, click the save icon. You will be able to see your notes in My Data, as we mentioned before. And when we click on it, a marker for the note will pop up, and when you click on this, you can see your note. If you no longer want this note, click Delete up here at the top. Moving on to the highlighter. This works much like the sticky note. First, click on the highlighter button, then select the text you want to highlight. As we can see, we also have the option to change the colors and again add a note. Let's click off of this. Further down on the left, we have the zoom option, which lets us increase or decrease the size of the book. Just below is the fit to width view, which just stretches the page across the entire screen. We also have the single page view, which shows us one big single page, and we can adjust the size of this using the zoom. You can also now switch back to the double page view with that same button. Here, at the bottom, you can click to see all the pages in this book. And we can scroll to look ahead, and you can click on a page to go directly to it. Let's now go back to the home page by clicking the house icon at the top left. Now, we're going to explore the search option here at the top. Clicking it will open a panel here on the right. Let's type in bears and hit enter. Keep in mind that this not only searches the titles, but also the contents within the books. As we can see, this search pulled up a book called Black Bears. But if we look further down, a book on wildlife and climate change mentions polar bears. This search will also tell you how many instances of the word you searched were found in the item. In this case, wildlife and climate change has a total of 12 matches. But in red foxes, only 2 bears were found. We can continue scrolling, but seeing as there's 726 results that were found, we'd be scrolling for quite a while. If you found a book you want, just click on it. And when you're done searching, you can just click cancel. I'll click on that now so we can go back to the home page. We took a look at each of the different sections and also at some of the individual books themselves. We also saw how to draw in the book, make notes, highlight certain sections, adjust the size of the page, skip to other pages, and how to do a search for a book and for specific words. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to leave comments or questions below. See you next time. Bye.